All right, everybody, welcome to the halftime portion of our Community Shield special watch along, chat along. Raphael joining you from the United States. We've got Sam here in London. Sam, Arsenal's leading, and we've been remarking on this the entire first half. For a club that started later than Liverpool, we were concerned they would be behind. They look the sharper team. They look really sharp for a club that's only been in full training a little over a week.
Yeah, as I was saying to you whilst we was watching the game, I think the game against MK Dons was very beneficial for us. Although I know that a lot of players only got 45 minutes in terms of the first team, but that 45 minutes could be crucial to get that little bit of rust out. Also, I just want to mention, with the FA Cup, we had to do the incessant training to the lead up of that game. Obviously, play that game. You can't really lose as much sharpness within 3 weeks. So we already kind of had it there. It was just getting the training sessions in that we have done and have the game. So yeah, I think that we definitely look sharp. We've done very well. I think a little bit of a concern for me is just on the crosses that Liverpool are whipping in. We look a bit chaotic when defending it. But overall, I think that we've done very well this half.
Yeah, and we've talked about that. That is Arsenal's Achilles heel, even as they're improving in other things. But let's focus on the good stuff. You know, we talked about looking at the lineup. You know, we looked at Maitland-Niles on the left side with Aubameyang, with Tierney behind him. That was a very effective side of attack in the FA Cup final. Today, though, what we've seen is a replay of what really worked for this club, really the entire new year once Arteta came in January, which is winger to winger. You know, usually we're using Pepe and Aubameyang, really Pepe bringing it down the right side, setting up Aubameyang. We saw that exact same template work, but this time Bukayo Saka, who's on his offside, played the Pepe role really, really well.
Yeah, it was a brilliant ball across. And then what can you say about that finish? It was absolutely superb. It reminds me, it's nearly a carbon copy of the goal against Man City in the cup semi-final. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that finish, just wow! Like no goalkeeper in the world's gonna save that. Absolutely not. It's just not gonna happen.
And as you're talking about it, I'm watching the replay behind me, and as you said, it was the Man City goal. And what people remarked about that goal was how patient Arsenal was. That they were pressed. They expanded on the back line, waited their turn, and once they got the breakout, it was just a few quick passes. Here, it was just 3 passes. It was like Holding to Hector to Saka to Aubameyang, and it's in the goal. I mean, it's just. But they had worked several passes laterally, drew Liverpool forward, and then it was off. They were off.
Yeah, and with this formation, it's not one that's going to scream to the opposition, they're going to be attacking us. This is a formation that lulls the opposition into a false sense of security in terms of saying, okay, they've got 3 at the back, 4 in midfield, they're going to go a bit defensive. So the opposition will have that in their subconscious and they'll automatically just push on. And as you say, 4 passes and then 3 passes and then a big diagonal. That's where you really get the space, because with Liverpool, they like to push on their fullbacks. And this instance, Andy Robertson had gone up, but Nico Williams, which was very interesting, instead of staying with Auba, he kind of drifted in to make the 3rd centre-back. And as we saw, that gave Auba all the time in the world to control that ball, get the ball out of his feet, and then just whip that ball into that bottom corner. It was, just that's what you need. And just looking now, Liverpool, even on the goal kick, they are automatically fully pushed on. and just seeing the goal right now, chest, couple of touches to get it away. So you're on the edge of the 18, and then that finish, superb.
Question on the other side. We were talking about Aubameyang, his effectiveness on the left. We know he wants to play in the center. Eddie Nketiah is playing there. You've had some questions about Eddie's effectiveness. Eddie got a very similar shot to the one that Aubameyang scored about 10, 15 minutes later. Was at the top of the box, had some space, went for the same shot, trying to put it in the top right corner, but skied the shot. He seemed to kind of rush the thing.
Yeah, as we were saying, Eddie will be at this level, but for me right now, I don't think that he should be starting at Arsenal. Obviously, I know you've got Lacazette to come back into the fold. I say that, but whether or not he'll be here, that's another story for another time. But Eddie right now, he's probably second or third backup for me. I think that he would need a top flight loan. So say like a Fulham or someone like that. So he's got a year under his belt in the top flight, really hone his skills in. I know Arteta really likes him, and just seeing the chance that he had where we had the cutback from Saka and Alisson saved, they're the chances that you really need to put away in these types of games. And I just feel if we had, say, the striker from Celtic, Edouard, I think that them chances will turn into goals. I just think Eddie needs maybe 1 or 2 years in the top flight, maybe at another team, because for the team chasing top 4 and then pushing on to potentially a title challenge, I don't think that he's at that level right now.
All right, now we're halftime. Arsenal's up a goal. Let's think back to that very important game that Arsenal won against Liverpool right at the end of the season, where Martinez kind of stood on his head in the second half. Arsenal got a lead in that match as well, and we looked at ourselves and we thought at the half, there's no way Arsenal's going to sit back and try to protect a lead for 45 minutes, and yet that's exactly what they did, and they got away with it. I'm looking at their bench today. Not a lot of real firepower offensively that can help Arsenal extend a lead, but I see William Saliba sitting there. Might Mikel try something similar this time?
If Saliba comes on, I think the substitution will be for Rob Holding, purely to also protect Rob from injury, for an impending move. But I also think that we could see Eddie going off and Orba going into the middle and Smith Rowe coming out onto the left-hand side. I think that could be a move that we could make. But other than that, really, it's a very young bench. As I remarked to you, I think that we've only got three experienced. Well, not even that. Yeah, no, sorry, we have got 3 experienced players there. We've got Leno, Cedric, and Kolasinac. But other than that, you're looking really at youth. You've got Nelson, Willock, Smith Rowe. I would really like to see John Jules get some minutes in this game, because I really, really like him from the under-23s. He done well in his loan at Lincoln, or it was just unfortunate injury cut that short. Arteta really rates him as well. I think that he potentially could get some minutes in this game. And if he does, fingers crossed he can show his ability, because he can go really far in this game. Really far.
Arsenal really doesn't need to push this game. I mean, they've been very successful in the counterattack. As you said, they put 1 in the goal, but they had 2 other really good chances. They could have a second goal. It seems like he's probably telling his squad right now, stay calm, stick with the plan, let the game come to you. It seems to be working.
Yeah, by all means. I think the only issue that Mikel might have is saying to the fullbacks, you must get out to the wingers quicker to stop the balls being crossed in, because the balls that they're whipping in are getting really, really concerning, because they are getting quite close to a few of them, and it only takes one or two to be 1 goal, 2 goals. It is that's the only concern I've got really from this game, because Liverpool building through the back, through the midfield, and going through the middle, they're not really creating anything that way. It's purely from them going wide they're creating.
Yeah, Martinez didn't have to make any spectacular saves. I don't recall him even having to make what we call a semi-difficult save. But as you said, the ball did ping pong across the box a few times in that last 10, 15 minutes, and we've seen that story far too many times under Arteta, under Emery, even under Wenger. For all the new assistants, we're talking about where's the guy who's going to help us fix the opponent's corners. That seems to be the final landmark this team needs to reach.
Yeah, now we've got the coach to finally do that. As I remarked to you, he's probably watching this, rubbing his hands together, going, my training sessions are planned out for the next week. They really are. If he can really coach this back line, it's not even the back line, it's the midfield as well. If he can really coach the two units to be cohesive in terms of stopping things coming out wide and also defending, say, defensive free kicks, corners and things like that, that is literally the last thing on the list for Arsenal. Barring from that, I think a lot of it is just improving the squad and moving forward. This team really wants to move forward now, and I think Mikel is really driving for the team to push forward. So hopefully we're in for a good year.
Okay, well, as we were remarking, and we'll share it with you, I'm sure you're thinking the same thing without our prompting, but Arteta's 45 minutes away from walking off saying, the last 2 times I've led the Arsenal squad onto the pitch, we've come away with hardware. That's a very different reality from what we're used to. And I want to get comfortable with that. Yeah,
absolutely. At the end of the day, we're in football to win trophies. And if Mikel can do that, say, for example, 2 finals, 2 trophies, well, there's not much more to say other than keep doing what you're doing, really.
All right, the teams are coming back out on the pitch. Thank you for joining us at halftime. Come back and join us when the 90 minutes are over. Hopefully we'll have more good football to parse, but we'll see you then.